What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with the 900 over 900 now, subscriber celebration. Reached 900 subscribers. Thank you all for your support, for liking my content, and all that other jazz. It just means so much. Again, when I did this YouTube channel, I didn't really go into it wanting to get a whole bunch of subscribers and wanting to, another way to make money and stuff like that. I went into this because after I went to my first G-Fest, it just kind of inspired me to open another door in this hobby that I love. And that's why I created the YouTube channel, not because, wanting subscribers or to get a lot of hits or anything like that. I just did it because I love this hobby and I just wanted to open another door into it. And the way that I'm going to celebrate this over 900 subscribers is I put a lot of thought into this video and I thought it's a pretty good idea. What I'm going to do is I am going to show you guys the figures that I have gotten from the friends I have made and other collectors. And that's just what I thought. I'd go down the line and just, give them, thank yous and, mentions, shout outs, whatever you want to call it. And just because they helped me acquire these figures, or I bought the figures from them directly. So that's what this whole lineup is. I will say some honorable mentions at the end because I'm not going to include, dealers at G-Fest, even though I am friends with some of them, bought stuff from them. I'm just talking about figures that I've bought from friends and other collectors, directly, or again, that they helped me acquire these figures. So that is what this video is about. I'm just going to get right onto it. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long, but I have a feeling it will be. So let's just get right on into this video with, of course, my favorite figure in my whole collection, the X Plus 30 centimeter original release Titanosaurus. Mr. Fresh Vinyl himself, Rich Eso, he helped me acquire this guy, and I still consider that, getting it from him. It was on New Year's Eve a couple years ago, and he messaged me right when I was getting ready for, get together with all my friends for New Year's. He's like, I found Titanosaurus on Yahoo Japan. It's close to $400. Do you want me to snag it for you? That's the lowest you've seen it. I told him, I just had to check my funds really quick, and then I told him go for it. And so he nabbed this bad boy off of Yahoo Japan for me. He had it shipped to his place. I even had him sign the box, for those of you that remember the box day in my review on this guy. So, I mean, this figure does mean a lot to me, and thank you, Rich, again, for helping me acquire pretty much my most prized possession. I mean, if my whole house was on fire or some sort of, other natural disaster, hopefully it never happens, but if it were to happen, this would be the top figure I would grab and just hold in my arms and get the hell out of Dodge. But Rich, thank you again. I'm so happy to have the original release. And I know the Diamond release is coming out here pretty soon, so congratulations to everyone who is getting this figure for pretty much about 150 bucks. That is awesome versus paying those high, crazy prices. But I'm still happy with the deal I got. Rich, again, thank you so much for helping me acquire this guy. You are the man, Mr. Fresh Vinyl. Next on, I'm going to go on to what I like to call the Great Wall of Del. Del Martinez, good friend of mine, met him at G-Fest. I've gotten a good portion of my collection from Del. I mean, a good amount of stuff. And so that's why I call this the Great Wall of Del. So Del, what figure do I start with first? I have no idea. I've gotten so much from him. I'm just going to go with what I consider other crown jewels of my collection, and I'll just kind of show them off one by one. But Del was able to hook me up with most of the original, Max Factory Guyver figures. And for anyone who is a fan of the Guyver, whether it's the movies, the manga, or the adaptations of the anime, you know about these Max Factory figures and how incredibly, not hard, I mean, sometimes they can be hard to find, but they are incredibly expensive. I don't know why I grabbed Guyver 1. I didn't get Guyver 1 from Del. But still, that's not to say that, I still consider a lot of this. Now, Del did have a Guyver 1, but I already had Guyver 1 in my collection, so I will put him off to the side. But All these other figures, I mean, I love the Guyver anime series. I love the manga. I even love the live action films. And when Dell said, he messaged me knowing that I was a Guyver fan, he was like, I'm thinking about getting rid of some of my Guyver stuff to make a little extra money and some space for some other things. And these figures are very special to him because he ended up picking these up on his trip to Japan in 2005. So I was very, honored that he thought of me, wanting me to have them. So I ended up getting the Guyver 3 Max Factory figure from him. Full Blast Aptom. You got General Gyot. You have Zektol. And then my favorite, probably, of all the Guyver figures I have is Murakami in his prototype Zoolord form. I mean, I just love the design of this guy. He's just awesome to me. I just love it. So again, I'm very cherished that Dell thought of me to, give me not give me these figures, but sell them to me, first dibs, when they meant so much to him, from his trip to Japan in 2005. That's when he got all these guys. So Dell, again, thank you very much for this whole lot of Guyver figures. I cherish them to the ends of my days. Thank you so much, man. But we're not done with Dell. Like I said, we got the Great Wall of Dell here. So let's just continue on, put all these guys off to the side. I have a lot of stuff here from certain people. So let's continue on with Dell let's go on with the 25 centimeter Gamera 96 Standard Edition. It was before G-Fest, the year before this last year. Dell was selling some stuff, and I was kind of interested in the Gamera 96. I was going to hold off till I went to G-Fest and maybe see if I can find one, which there were ones for sale. But Dell gave me a price that I couldn't refuse. I mean, just awesome price on this guy. And I told him I'll meet up with you at G-Fest and give you the cash. Just give him cash. No PayPal, no nothing like that. I was like, Dell, I'll meet you at G-Fest and I'll give you cash. And that's what I did. And so, I got this guy, and then when I was on my way to G-Fest driving, this box came in. So he shipped it even before I met him at G-Fest. So Dell, that was awesome of you, man. That was too great. And met up with Dell, told him thank you, gave him a broski hug. And yeah, so Dell, thank you again for this figure. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to speed stuff up a little bit. I don't want this video to lag on too much. But I could talk about each figure individually forever on how I got them from each person. But let's continue on with Dell. Next thing I got from Dell is another prized possession in my collection, the Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster 25 centimeter X Plus set. This set is one of those things I never thought I would get. And Dell decided to sell his, and I was like, dude, I want the set. And he was happy enough to sell me the set. Here are the Rick Boy editions, the little Mothra and the little giant Condor that came with them. And again, Dell, just awesome of you, man. I really appreciate, and Dell's always happy when he sells stuff to me. He knows it's going to a good home. I almost ended up buying his 25 centimeter Megalon that he was selling, but I just didn't have the funds at the time. But again, Dell, thank you very much for this set, man. I really, really love it. All right, next on, I think I'll go over to a buddy of mine that I don't talk to very much anymore, but I did when I first met him on Facebook, and hopefully he appreciates this shout out. Dan Mason. Dan had the privilege of selling me my first Rick Boy X Plus figure, and this is the Rick Boy 25 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 1962 with the light up dorsal plates. I don't have the little stand for it or anything right now that he hooks up to make it light up, just because the lights have really dimmed over these years and you really wouldn't be able to see it with all this lighting. Even if I turn the room total black, you probably wouldn't even be able to see it. That's how low the LEDs are in this thing. I don't know if the LEDs went bad or if I just need new batteries. But regardless, Dan, thank you for, selling me my very first Rick Boy X Plus figure. I mean, that was just awesome. Even though a lot of people don't appeal to the X Plus 25 centimeter 62 very much. It's not too accurate. I mean, from the top, it looks hella accurate, but I mean, I can see how it doesn't look too accurate and how some people might have some, hissy fits over it. But, I like it. And Dan, thank you again, man. I love this figure. It's awesome. Thank you again, Dan Mason. Let's see. Next on, I will go on to my buddy Bro, who I fight with in Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter V on PS4. James Hartman, man, you're up next. James Hartman sold to me the standard Yuji Sakai X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla in 1989. I love the '89 suit. It's one of my favorites, and I just loved this figure when it came out, and I really had no way of getting it. And then James, he wanted me to have this figure because I think he ended up getting the Rick Boy instead of the standard, and oh God, I don't even know where to start with this. I mean, this was just this was just out of the blue. James, he just told me like, I want Godzilla fan freaks. I want you to have this, man. I want you to have this figure and do an awesome review on it, which hopefully I did when I did my review on this figure. He said I did a good job. I don't know though. He could just be pulling my leg. It's James after all. No, I'm just kidding, man. Anyway, but I mean, again, he wanted me to have this figure, so I always check my funds before I buy anything, and I was like, I can get it from you, man. Thank you very much. He sent it out to me, and I got it before I even sent the check out to him. And but thank you again, James. I really love this figure. It's one of my favorites of my collection. And James, you rock. No matter how much you kick my ass in video games online, man, you are the man. Next up with James is the Marmot Vinyl Paradise Gauss, a figure that I just recently reviewed. This figure was brought to my attention from my good friend Brian. He had it in his collection, and he took some pictures of all his Marmot Vinyl Paradise Gamera figures. This figure stood out to me, and then, and James saw my comments on how much I loved this figure. So James, he went online and he hunted for me, and he found one on Yahoo Japan, and he picked one up for me. And I really appreciate it. And again, what can I say? James, he's got my back. Anything that, I really kind of like, James always watches for my comments. I don't want to say he stalks me. I mean, he might, but I don't know. But James is always the one to message me saying, hey, dude, I saw this, or hey, I found one of these. I know you were looking for it. So, James, I really appreciate you keeping your eyes out for me, man. And again, dude, you are awesome. No matter how many times you kick my ass in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter V, you will always be one of my best buds. So, James, thank you again for helping me acquire the Marmot Vinyl Paradise Gauss. Oh, man. So many figures to talk about. I'm going to go on to one of my other Kaiju brothers, Edwin. Edwin, man, I forgot to grab the Rick Boy pieces. It's clumsy me, but all of you know when I got this guy and when I did the review on it that this is the Rick Boy X Plus 25 centimeter Godzilla 1971 from Godzilla vs. Hedorah. This is one of those figures, again, I never thought I would get, never thought I would ever see in person unless it was reissued. Edwin was able to hook me up with it. Edwin, thank you again, buddy. I love this figure. It's just amazing. I just love it. I love Godzilla holding the Hedorah eggs. I have swapped out the pieces and everything like that, with the normal arms and the unbattle damaged head. But I still love this setup with the figure. But again, Edwin, thank you again for selling me this guy. I love it to death. Thank you again, Edwin. You rock. Next, we will move on to Burly Vang. Burly Vang, he does a lot of model kits, and some of you that are in the groups, we all know him. He does great work, and he ended up selling me a lot of, oh my God, the Toho Vehicle Chronicles. I believe that's what they were called. And, he sold me a little lot of ones that he would had, ones he was getting rid of. Where's the little piece to the Super X? This little piece likes to fall out. There it is. Boom, put it right back in. But, I mean, he sold me this whole lot of these Toho Vehicle Chronicles. I mean, really, out of all this, really what I wanted was the Moonlight SY3 and the 2 Super X's. But I was still happy to get everything else. It just goes along great. All of you who have seen my collection videos, I just have these things displayed on my shelves next to the X Plus figures. And, I mean, they just look great. They fit in awesome. And again, Burly Vang, thank you so much. I'm really glad that I have a Super X2 in my collection finally, and a really decent one at that. I really like this one. Because Super X2 is probably my favorite military vehicle in the whole Godzilla franchise. I just love the fire mirror. I just love how it was kind of like, computer automated from a certain base. There wasn't actually, a man, force in like a cockpit or anything like that. And you know, just love it to death. I love all these figures, just simply awesome. Burly Vang, thank you again, man. I love all of these little things. Let's get all these out of the way, and we'll keep on moving on. And I think I am down to my last person. Last, but certainly not least, a very good friend that I have met at Jeep Fest, and I got all these things. He wasn't a dealer or anything like that in the dealer's room. I bought all these things off to the side from him at Jeep Fest. So that's why I'm throwing all these in here. Joey Leonard. He became very good friends with me and my dad on our very first G-Fest. He pretty much gave us the whole tour, the whole walk down, told us what's going on, how things work, and I forgot a couple things, but I will, instead of getting up and going to grab them, I'll just mention them in the video firsthand. Joey, when I came to my first G-Fest, he was auctioning off a lot of his collection, and I ended up winning a couple things. Not a couple things. I ended up winning one thing. No, I did win a couple things, and one of the things I have here. But the first thing I ended up getting from Joey was the Bandai tagged Burning Godzilla that I have in my collection. Thank you again, Joey, for that. Even though it was all about, you know, pulling the numbers and everything like that, I still, you know, considered getting that from you. And you're a very passionate collector, and I am glad to have some of your pieces in my collection. It is just an honor. You're an awesome guy, Joey. You rock, man. And so then another thing that I got from him that I forgot to grab. I can't believe it. But I ended up getting one of the 50th anniversary Godzilla CD box sets, and I got the green one that has Godzilla 1984 to Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992. And I love all those CDs. They're awesome. I've listened to them many times already, and just fantastic. Even the bonus extra CDs that come with it are awesome. Again, Joey, thank you so much for that. And now let's get on to the stuff that I actually have out here that I got from him instead of forgetting stuff that I forgot to grab. I ended up getting the Bandai Chainsaw Gigan and the Bandai, a little fuzzy attached to me there, Des Ghidorah or Death Ghidorah, whatever you want to call him. I ended up getting these figures from Joey for a great deal, both at the same time. Gigan did have the tag, and Des Ghidorah does have his box. I have it kind of stored up in my closet where I have all my other boxes. As you guys know about me, and hopefully Joey doesn't hate me too much, but you know, I removed the tags from my figures. I know I'm sorry. It took so much power just to clip that off, just because I know how much you know, these figures meant to you and your collection and stuff, and I know that you were happy to pass them on to me. But I still have the tag. It's in safe condition in my drawer in a little plastic sleeve, so no worries about that. Same with the box. The box for this guy's safe up in the top of my closet with a lot of my other boxes. But these two figures, thank you again, Joey, for selling them to me for a great deal. Really happy to have the Chainsaw Gigan, and really happy to have Des Ghidorah, which is my favorite Ghidorah incarnation. I just love Death Ghidorah. He's just awesome. And then, let's see, what should I go with next? Oh, man. I forget the names of some things, but I'm just going to go over all these little figures here that I got from Joey. Oh man, were these Yuji Sakai sculpted? I can't remember now if these were Yuji Sakai sculpted. I'm sorry. Just, you know, going over so many figures and forgetting to do little tiny things. It just, again, no one's perfect. But I ended up getting this little set of these 4 little diorama pieces from Joey Leonard in the box. I have the box as well. And so you have Frankenstein Conquers the World, where he's fighting Baragon with the forest on fire. You have Ghidorah in his very first appearance, where he's being born from the asteroid. You got, not Godzilla 2000, but I believe this is one of the Kiryu movies of Godzilla, and he's just busting over a bridge and everything, in kind of like Tokyo Bay probably. And then probably my favorite from the set is Gyra, the Green Gargantua, in the lake with one of these maser cannons kind of shooting at him. And he's just, I love that water effect. That is just simply awesome. And what else can I say? I love all 4 of these figures. They're just individually awesome. And again, Joey, thank you again. I am glad to have these in my collection. And then last from Joey, and this is the very last things I will go over, are the little, these are Yuji Sakai's because it says them on the little plate things here. I ended up getting from Joey the Yuji Sakai Godzilla 1964 and Godzilla 1954 mini figures. I forget exactly what they are called. Yuji Sakai Concept Works. There you go. If I just read, I'll figure it out. Anyways, got these from Joey as well. And again, thank you, Joey. Again, I just can't say thank you enough. Again, this video is probably lagging on way too long, but hopefully you guys all enjoy it. But again, Joey, thank you so much. I'm glad to have these in my collection as well. I hate to cut it off there and short and sweet, but again, I don't want this video lagging on too much, and I still have honorable mentions to go over. So again, thank you all that I mentioned here. When I post this up on Facebook, I'll tag you all. Hopefully you all don't mind. And honorable mentions. Flossie's Gifts is ran by John Stanowski of Kaiju Addicts. I know John, you know, I talked to him on Facebook and everything like that, and he posts my X Plus reviews up on Kaiju Addicts. Thank you again that for John. And so even though Flossie's Gifts is a, you know, internet website outlet, you know, where you can buy collectibles and other things, I still consider the figures that I got, you know, getting them from John. But, you know, John's an honorable mention. John and Flossie's Gifts, honorable mention. So, and then next up, we'll go up to Mike Johnson. I got my X Plus Rodan 25 centimeter Rick Boy over here from Mike Johnson one year at G-Fest. Thank you again, Mike, for that. Love that figure. It's awesome. We'll go on to Gregory at Exian Japanese Imported Toys at G-Fest. I've gotten a lot of figures from him. Bandai's, X Pluses mainly. You know, Greg knows what he sold me. I've posted pictures about it. You got the Bandai Mechanicon, the X Plus 25 centimeter Rick Boy King Ghidorah, X Plus Hedra with the tag, or not X Plus Hedra with the tag, Bandai Hedra with the tag. Again, I've gotten a lot of stuff from Greg at G-Fest. So, Greg, you're another honorable mention, man. Exian Japanese Imported Toys, one of the best booths at G-Fest. Go get your stuff from him if you're going to buy anything at G-Fest. Mainly Greg. He's a great guy. And let's see what else. Flossie's Gifts, Greg. I think that's it. I think that's all I have for honorable mentions is Flossie's Gifts, Mike Johnson, and Greg at Exian Japanese Imported Toys. So just so this video doesn't lag on any longer, thank you all for over 900 subscribers. I'm so glad that you love my content, love what I do. I really appreciate all your guys' support. You all are awesome. And I think that's all I got. Anyways, thank you all for your continued support. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And that's about it. Like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next video review. Thank you for watching.